On a dark, cold night in the winter of 1901, Sama, a young man with a calm demeanor and dreamy eyes, was sitting in an old, abandoned library, reading a book filled with countless mysterious legends. Sama was no ordinary young man. He had an intense passion for everything old and unknown, especially anything that spoke of places said to hold secrets about time. He had spent much of his life searching for an adventure that would break him out of his daily routine, and his friends knew well his love for mysterious tales and ancient libraries. On that winter night, Sama found an old, black leather book, stained with dried ink and without a visible title. As he flipped through its pages, he noticed a strange illustration showing a sundial, with an inscription in ancient Arabic next to it: "The door that opens is the path across ages to meet loved ones." He read these words with excitement and amazement, flipping the pages eagerly. Suddenly, he felt an unusual dizziness, as if the book had cast a spell on him, or perhaps it was transporting him to a faraway place. He began to see flashes of images, people, places unknown to him, and among these images, he saw the face of a beautiful girl with wide, sorrowful eyes, as though she were looking directly at him. Sam awoke from the trance, feeling as if he was still bound to the book. He clutched it tightly, his eyes fixed on a mysterious inscription at the bottom of the picture, which read, "If you find the key to the sundial, you will find the unforgettable, but beware, for someone watches." Days went by, and Sama spent long hours in the library, unable to tear himself away from the book's pull. As he tried to decode the words and images, he found an old map hidden between the pages, leading to a place outside the city labeled the Hidden Sundial. It seemed like an adventure too tempting to resist, though he had no idea what awaited him. One sunny day, Sama packed his bag and set off, following the map's path. After hours of walking through mountain trails and forests thick with towering trees, he reached an eerie, abandoned place that seemed untouched for centuries. There, in the heart of the place, was an ancient sundial, just as described in the book, surrounded by finely carved stones in an unfamiliar pattern. He approached the sundial cautiously, running his fingers over it until he found a small, metal key hidden in its base. He held the key in his hands, not knowing its purpose, but feeling as though something was urging him to use it. Suddenly, the ground beneath him began to shake, and the sundial slowly rotated until it formed a bright portal in front of him. Hesitant, yet curious, Sama decided to step through. As soon as he set foot inside, he found himself in an ancient city that looked as if it had come straight from the Middle Ages. The city was bustling with people, all dressed in old-fashioned attire from ages past, and they looked at him with a mix of awe and suspicion, as though they had never seen someone like him. In the midst of the crowd, he spotted the girl from the book's pages. She stood at the window of an old stone house, looking at him with eyes full of longing. Sama approached her slowly, his voice trembling as he asked, "Who are you? And how do I know you?" The girl gave a soft, sad smile and replied, "I am Layla, and I have been waiting for you for a long time." Sama could hardly believe what he was hearing, but something within him felt he knew her, as if their souls had met before. They sat and talked for hours, as Layla recounted her tale, telling him about her time, her story, and how she had waited for him to return and revive a love born between them in a past life. But their story would not be an easy one. Someone was watching them from afar, a group of guards under the orders of the city's ruler, who saw Sama's presence as a threat to their secrets. They captured both Sama and Layla, sentencing them to a life apart, under constant guard. Locked away in a cold cell, Sama was overcome with fear and pain for Layla's fate. One night, an old man visited him in his cell, telling him there was only one chance to escape, returning through the portal. But the old man warned that the journey would come with sacrifices. Sama would have to leave behind all his memories with Layla, and if he returned to his time, he would never remember her again. Sama faced the hardest decision of his life. Layla was a part of his soul, yet he could not risk losing his own life. He decided to return to his time, accepting the pain of an incomplete love, unsure if he would remember her. Sama woke up in his study, surrounded by books and distant memories. A tear rolled down his cheek, and he couldn't say if what he had experienced was real or a dream. But as he looked at the book in his hands, he found a new inscription on the last page, which read, "Whoever passes through the portal leaves part of themselves in the ancient time." At that moment, Sama understood that he had lived a great adventure, even if the details had